Hello. What's up, Sam? You coming up?
All right, there we go.
You hear me, brother?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Hold on a minute. I got to get a little background out of here. Hold on a second.
Did you get an app in or no?
We're trying to get my headset working so we ain't going to get bleed through.
Oh,
There we go. I think we got it now.
yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
There we go. Yeah. We ain't going to get none of that
Much
bleed
better.
through. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let's see if we can share it out here a little bit.
She said she was going to pop in for a little bit,
Who did?
Lily.
Oh, nice.
She didn't believe me when I told her that the one Saturday went for almost 8 hours.
Tell me you didn't watch the YouTube.
Right. She seriously thought it was like maybe half hour to an hour.
It happens.
Yeah, right.
That's one of those things, man.
Yep.
I bet we get a bunch of people up in here.
I'm hoping.
Still trying to get used to running this thing on the desktop here, though.
I haven't even tried that yet.
Yeah, you got to download the live studio and stuff, and I'm doing it so that I can use the mic and woo! Well, come on in here, Tool Time. That's what we're going to do, sir. We are doing nothing but questions. I don't even know if we're going to give any answers tonight, but we will do what we can. We're going to try to use a little different, go a little different way here.
My question is all about your website.
Okay, I will see what I can do to answer that.
Okay. Well, I actually have a couple of questions. The first one is I register on your website, and then me being as spacey as I am, I didn't write down my password, and I went to go log back in, and I didn't have it saved on my phone like it usually does. So when I went to log back in, I was like, I got 400 different web passwords for all these different sites I do. I can't remember it. And it doesn't offer me an option to forgot your password, verify it in some other way.
Oh.
So I can't log back in.
Okay. Well, we're going to learn something together today then, Alan. Because to be honest, sir, the website, I am new to it. I don't even. Let's see here. Let's see what we can come up with. I didn't even know if there was any of that was going on. So we'll find out here.
Then my second part of it was I was trying to navigate your website, and it seems like the blocks that I have for it, what was it you wanted me to go look at? There was something on your website I wanted to look at in particular, and I couldn't pull it up specifically. Gosh, I'm gonna go back to it and look at it and see if I can find it.
Yeah, so mainly the main thing that's on our website, sir, is basically just the articles. I know that when because I try to go in after we post the stuff, and I try to make sure that I'm actually getting in the website like somebody else would be getting in the website, and that it's it's going that direction. But I'm gonna look here on my other. I got two monitors here, so I'm gonna try and see what I can find on this. What you're talking about, as far as a customers and leads. Okay.
Well, I remember now what it was I was looking for. So we had talked about mentoring, and you were going to add that to your website as a spot where somebody could sign up if they wanted to be a mentor.
Yes.
And I could not find where that was.
We have not got that going yet. I am trying to get that up and going. I am very new to the information technology, sir, especially the website design. So yes, please bear with me as I try to navigate that. I did not forget about it. I have it. And it is one of those things where I have to get in there. Basically kind of what happened was we had somebody that was doing the website stuff, and then they decided that, because we don't have any money, so we're all just kind of donating our time to this, the best that we can, and going from there. So let's see here. What do we got? Which one are you on here as far as the
Who is that?
Let me try and log back into it again. I'll tell you.
You know what I might just do?
Okay, I'm not getting the echo. Somebody else is getting it too.
We have an echo.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Is it from my mixer here? Do you still
it's
hear
gone
it?
now.
It's gone now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Tool Time, undo your mic real quick. Yeah.
Well, I'll say, so I see what you're talking about. Before when you were saying that, and I wasn't seeing anything, I was seeing down here on my mic level on the screen, it was at green.
Okay.
And now it goes all the way away. So I don't know. Maybe I got a bad wire here. Oh, no, my one headset. Once again, I'm still learning this whole IT and audio mix thing, so.
Yeah. Why is today's setup different?
What setup?
My screen, it's got the host, and then it's got the 8 boxes, then it's got the comments on it, whereas before everything was in one screen.
Oh, probably because I'm on the live studio on the mainframe.
Okay.
Yep, that's probably why. So,
Oh, somebody sent a heart.
I think that was Pablo. Yeah,
That's Pablo.
yeah. Is the echo better now, Pablo?
Oh yeah, yeah, it's gone.
Okay, all right. So I'm trying to see. So I can see here what he's talking about.
Yeah, my old man's in bed already. Otherwise, I'd hit him up.
Yes, I would love for us to get somebody that is a lot better at the website stuff than I am.
I'd be my old man.
So I would absolutely, yes.
Yeah. I didn't know you'd have to log into anything on it.
Okay, so Alan, I just found something, sir. I can reset your password here, and then you can try to log back in. It sounds like.
Okay, because when I went to try and do it again, it said username already, or my email, and it said that was already taken. But it wouldn't let me reset my password or do anything with my password if I couldn't remember it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to reach out to Wix and say, hey, how do I add a forgot password thing here for people that are trying to join the website? You know, because I have WIX, they're the website people that we use.
Awesome for me. They are very, very helpful. They'll be more than happy to help you with that.
Yeah, and I need help.
Yeah, they'll walk you right through on how to do it and set it up for you.
Good
They're
deal.
really a great company for starting up like that.
Yeah, I just seen that on it. You can go in and do a manage member and then hit reset password. So that's to be honest, right. I really don't even know. It's one of the things that they gave us. So it's like it wasn't even kind of like an option. And so, like, when people hit me up about joining it and those things, like, I'm like, I okay, you know, I really don't know. So, you know, once again, we're all learning together on this one. So, but
I just felt bad because I was like, I don't want to pester the poor guy, but I figured, well, if I catch him on the live, I'll ask him there.
Oh, you know what? Don't be afraid to send me an email. You know, if you go to the website, you want to talk to me or whatever, and you don't want to call, and you just want to, email back and forth so that we can talk at our leisure, send an email. You know,
I couldn't because I couldn't log in.
Well, no. If you look at the email, there's an email for us on the main page at the very bottom where it has like all of our contact information. So it's basically the same as the website. It's wethefopt@gmail.com. So that's just, and to be honest, we have about, I think, 4 or 5 of us that have access to it. And that way we can all kind of answer, or maybe, if it's something that I don't know something about, and I can reach out to Matt or Pablo or to Sam or whoever and be like, hey, somebody just, send out like a group text message, and we just send it out like, hey, somebody, maybe go answer them or whatever. So.
Oh, I got it.
Very much new to this, sir. Very much new to this.
So what's on the agenda tonight?
Basically, it is a matter.
What you got for us?
Yeah, what you got for us?
Oh, well, I see R&R is all but completely done now. I don't know if you've been following that or not, but R&R is a big brokerage company out of Pennsylvania, actually out of Pittsburgh area, Crafton. And they own a host of companies, Paradigm, R&R Express, just a bunch. Well, they bought a trucking company somewhere along the line, and that trucking company is just completely shut down. That was out of North Carolina, called Taylor Express. Is it not Taylor Express?
I've heard about. There's a whole conglomerate that was involved with this, wasn't there?
Well, they had a bunch of companies, but they were actually, I think they originally were part of the Green Tree Group and split off onto their own and started up a brokerage and company and built it up from scratch for many years. They were actually, at one point, they were a really good brokerage company. I used them all the time. So there's a little bit of a shock to see that they've really gone downhill lately.
Yeah, I've seen something. I think it was on. What was it? I'm trying to look it up now so we can actually. I know what you're talking about, but it's like, yeah, family uncertainty amid exec departure, payment concerns. Wow. So there's a whole family of companies under. So R&R was the umbrella that they were.
Yeah,
that's okay. Okay. Wow. Wow. Well, go banker. So it's R&R Express, RFX, Taylor Express, Giant Energy Solutions, Paradigm Transport, and GT Worldwide Logistics, which provide brokerage and transportation services.
There was a trucking company in there too, Taylor something.
Yes, Taylor Express. Maybe I need to get my mic moved a little bit better to where that I don't miss something. So, but yeah, it's R&R Express, RFX LLC, Taylor Express, Giant Energy Solutions, Paradigm Transportation, and GT Worldwide Logistics.
Wow, that's a big hit.
Yes, very much so.
That's a big hit. I used to use them all the time. I got a lot of work from them.
You know, and it's a shame. It really is.
Do you see where we're headed? Kind of is the same way, and I'm using. Forgive me for putting this as a. I don't know, as an example. It's really not fair, but in a way it is to me. So years ago, when we had a different administration in, they decided that the best way to deal with everything was to open the borders and let people walk in no matter what their background was. And it seems to me that the trucking industry is kind of done the same kind of thing. We've just opened it up and let anybody who is breathing put them either in a truck, give them a CDL, or let them open a brokerage.
Yeah.
And now we're suffering all those repercussions from that, and it's finally coming to fruition. All the bad publicity we're getting, and these wrecks that you're seeing where people are being unalived, and the brokerages that are going out of business left and right. And I'm just wondering, do you think that's all stemming from that same kind of philosophy? Sorry,
I don't know.
Got deep there.
That's I mean, when you start getting into all of that, man, that's I really don't know, Alan. I really don't know. I don't know what to say to that, but I really don't.
It's a lot of it would be a lot of speculation because you don't know who the players are behind the scenes. We don't know what their actual agenda is, why they've done what they've done, or it would be speculation beyond speculation because nobody knows.
I see it in this way, and maybe this is where I'm wrong with it, but it seems like when I start seeing how our industry has just tanked and keeps going in the negative, what is the cause of it? How did we get to this shape? Now, I know back in the 80s, when deregulation was just coming around and everybody warned us, you guys are going to regret this. And they went forward with it anyway. And for a minute, things were really good. Guys that wanted to be owner-operators really had a good shot at being an owner-operator and really getting out there and doing it. And then, of course, the Cowboys kind of came along and I'm going to date myself when I say this, but there were companies like David Bonneau, and they used to run produce, and they were just crazy fools that, you couldn't keep up with them. There was just no way. But that opened up a lot. Then the government, because we had been under that regulation for so long, they kind of let us alone at first because they said, well, these guys are professionals. They know what they're doing. They're not going to go crazy. And then we did. And when all the wildness started, then all the regulations started popping up left and right. And I saw that happening. And I'm wondering that, again, this is where I kind of come with that the more and more that the regulations come in, the more and more I see people that have figured out a way to skirt the regulations and go back to those wildcat days where you just kind of ran rampant and just to heck with the regulations and the rules. And, you have electronic logs? Well, let me figure that out. And they've figured out ways to, navigate that and reset your hours and give you 70 more hours when you've already used your 70 and those kinds of things. And it just kind of seems like they've gone strict in one regard and lax in another.
Yeah. Well, from what I do hear from a lot of people is it seems like that it has to do with the lack of ability to enforce the rules and regulations and stuff like that because of the lack of budget that the FMCSA is allotted. If you got a question there, put it in the comments there, Kika de Stepa. Or if you want to, come on up and one of the moderators will bring you up here. And Cisco, if you want to talk transparency, get in a box, sir. But no, I do know that there is that. As far as where we're at, as far as the the current state, I mean, I would probably say that it. If you look at the capacity situation there, we do operate in a supply and demand type business. The more trucks there are, the more opportunity there is for a competition for a load. If you got 10 trucks on one load, it's tough. And so they're going to use that to their advantage. The shippers are.
Well, then let me go down the other rabbit hole, and I'm going to probably send you down now. So before we opened the borders and we had all these people coming in and getting CDLs and joining us, there used to be this thing called a signing bonus. Do you remember that?
I do remember the signing bonuses. Yes, sir. I also remember the day when you used to be able to get a signing bonus from company A and a week or two later go get a signing bonus from company B and then company C and company D. We've been around a long time, sir, so we do remember some of these things. So yes, I do remember that.
Well, that was kind of where I was going. It was like, you don't see that. And the reason you don't see that is, and then this is kind of where, and my head's off to Pontificator because I love the guy. Leander's a wonderful person. But this is my point of it was, when you have enough drivers, you can charge escrows. You can make them pay to get their own way to get to the truck. You can do all of that because you've got a plethora of people behind you. There's another guy that will come along that needs a job. And it seems like we never had that before. It was always that supply and demand thing. Of course, we were stealing from one another. One company would steal drivers from the other company by offering them, a newer truck or, chrome or whatever.
Well, you remember the days of the $10,000 signing bonuses? I'm sure you do. Yeah, that was. Hey, Sarah, come on in if you want to, hon. Boxes are open. That's one of those things that when you go through and you get a bunch of people coming in and out of the industry, as far as everybody kind of sees what we can and can't do. It's as far as money and the freedom, if you will, to because people got to admit we are free. When you're out there on the road, I would say we're probably not as free as we were when, like, you and I kind of started there, Alan, because, you remember the days that basically you walked in, you made your check call at like 9 a.m., and then they didn't hear from you again until you delivered the load usually. So, and unless it was a multi-day run that you were on. So there's a little less of that, a little less with that. But, I still think a lot of people like to have that freedom. They enjoy being able to be by themselves. And, you got to admit, I mean, when we had that, as I like to call it, the gold rush, from during COVID, when there was a lot of people that was making the money, and running, it worked out well. So, welcome in there, Kika de Stepa. What's your question?
Hey, what's going on, bro? So basically, my question is, I know you guys probably gonna be like this guy, but I just
No,
have
sir.
I just have a quick question. So basically, I went to Pam schooling to get my CDLs, and unfortunately, I cheated my way to get up there, like with the drug test, like you know what I'm saying. But I stopped smoking, like I've been stopped smoking, but I keep coming out dirty, and I passed the DOT test in New York, and when I went to Arkansas, they test me and I came out dirty. My question is, do they usually drug test twice? Because I haven't been smoking, and I have
I can kind of answer that.
again over there, and then I
Well, I
get
think
over
you
there
broke up there a
and then
minute.
you
So
know what I'm saying. But I
we
haven't been
kind of
smoking. Though,
lost you.
truthfully and everything, I haven't been smoking.
We kind of lost you there. You asked.
You,
I heard the part where do they test twice, and then you kind of broke up there in your phone there, sir.
If you're coming up
okay?
dirty once, what they'll do is they'll continue to test you over and over and over again.
But
Something I need you to
uh
think about too, though. It's also depending on what you eat. Believe it or not, if you eat a bagel with poppy seeds, you'll come up dirty.
cause look, boss man. Honestly, like I said, I've been stopped smoking weed. Like 'cause I used to smoke a lot of weed, but then I got my COP and I was trying to get my CDLs because trucking is what's that. I mean, honestly, that's how I see. I think trucking is a good job or whatever the case might be. And I not like I didn't come out dirty on my DOT in New York, and I didn't take the test in Arkansas because I didn't want to actually, you know what I'm saying, be them actually knowing that I was dirty. I just told them like to send me back home that I had an emergency. But like I said, I have another opportunity in Prime, and like I still keep coming out dirty. That's the whole thing. I stopped smoking now for like a month and a half, and I'm just now understanding. I really don't want to miss out on this opportunity. So, I was just my question is: do they really drug test twice, or is it one time? Because I was confused about the
Well,
procedure.
I know most of your companies are going to do a pre-employment drug screening, and it
Right.
doesn't matter what company you go to. And you could literally go to Pam, and you could drug test on Monday and decide you don't want to work there, and you're going to go to Prime on Tuesday, and they'll drug test you on Tuesday. If I'm not mistaken, I do believe that everybody has to do a pre-employment drug screening. So this is one where I would probably have to say, I would give it a little time. You know, drink plenty of water. Try, make sure that you're, excuse me, eating a healthier diet, and just try to get it flushed out of you the best you can. And I commend you for doing the right thing. Trying to get it out of your system and not smoke it and doing it the right way. So um, I think it's just the best bet I could say is probably just time. Let me look and see if my old lady's still in here. She's in medical, so she might be able to.
All
Well,
right.
the thing I wanted to say was there's the pre-employment, and then there's post-accident, and then there's random.
Yep.
And if you test on any one of those hot, you will now have to go through the SAP program, and that limits your accessibility to getting on board with a carrier, depending on who they are. Some will accept you. Some will only accept you after you've completed the entire program. Some will accept you if you've completed certain steps. But there are 6 steps to that program. And the first 3 are the most crucial. That's where you get a counselor, and they do your, I forgot what the name of the test is, but it's basically to say you've done the course, and now you're tested and you're clean. It's called return to duty. I'm sorry, that's what it was.
Okay.
If you've got your return to duty and you're good to go, then you have at least a few options. Then at that point, you may be limited on carriers that will accept that, but usually they want to see at least all the way to step 6 completed. Now, marijuana being the kind of drug that it is, it sits in your fat cells in your body a lot longer than any of the other narcotics do. So it's going to take a long time, especially if you're a heavier guy, for it to get out of your system. It's not going to be a 30-day thing. It may take 3 months before it's completely out, especially if you're a heavy smoker. And it's basically the THC level that they're measuring. It's not anything more than that. But that being the case, the 3 months or whatever it takes, the other problem you're going to have is that a lot of the bigger carriers now have gone to hair follicle testing. And that's, although that may not be mandated by the FMCSA, it is still a test that they may do for you in their own way. They may have you do the DOT federal, which may be a urine test, but they also may do a hair test just to see if there's anything that you've been doing. And that's going to take a little longer to get out of your system. I would say at least 3 months, quite possibly as many as 4 or 5 months before you're completely free of all of that out of your system. So it may just be a matter of time for you.
So I want to let Sarah in here. She's been trying to get in here for a minute on what to offer a solution.
So you could actually go down and get your own drug test, right? So if you think you're going to fail the drug test, you can go down to a clinic and get your own, or you can go to the pharmacy actually and get one too, right? And that way you're not wasting your time or wasting the company's money. So, and that would...
Are those tests that you get over the counter like that you buy at the pharmacy or whatever, are they as sensitive as the ones that the DOT give you, or are they
Some
are
that sensitive, and what it does is by utilizing those, when you go through a company as a truck driver, you're going into a company as a truck driver and you take one of those tests, they've got to report that you failed it. And that's the big thing with the over-the-counter versus going through a company and getting it. You don't have to report. If you come up dirty on one of those over-the-counters, you know you're dirty. Whereas if you go into a trucking company,
hold on a second, Matt. Hold on. I want Jeannie to talk about this because she's a nurse. So medical professionals have the floor on this one for sure. So
if you're really worried about failing a drug test, you can go and get hydrated, like at IV clinics. I don't know if they have those at truck stops, but somewhere they have somewhere where you can at least go get hydrated to replenish your system so you can get some of those toxins out of your body.
Okay. That's the way. There's no other way that because like I said, I gotta go on the 26th, and I keep taking this Dollar General test. I don't know if it's accurate, but every time I take it, it's always coming out positive. And like I said, I've been spending out like a month and a half, and I'm still coming out positive.
And you probably will for a little bit. So I guess my suggestion is, and it could be because you're dehydrated, you're not drinking enough water, and that's why it's not getting out of your system in time.
Okay. So drink a lot of water then.
Or go get a bunch of bags of fluids from an IV clinic. Your choice.
Oh, I could go to the clinic. Okay, because like I said, I passed that pre-screening drug test for Pam, and then when I got up there, they wanted to give me another drug test, and I was like, damn.
The one thing you don't want to do is walk in if you think you might be hot and test positive. You've done the exact right thing. You didn't show up hot on a FMCSA one.
Wait,
So
if you don't take a DOT drug test within 24 hours of a random DOT request, you fail anyways. And even if you don't fill the cup up to the line, that is a fail. And so he has to go take it. But what is he testing positive for?
Marijuana.
What is it?
Marijuana.
Oh.
Yeah, because
I
in New
can
York, you know,
understand.
weed is legal out here. And honestly, I'm a young buck.
Yeah.
I'm 24 years old, so you know, I was smoking in the meantime, and you know, I decided to get my COP, and then I was just trying to go ahead with the CDL, but then that happened.
Yeah, I'm a little jaded because I've been out here 12 years and I've seen it all. I'm an ice trucker up in Alaska. My roads are frozen lakes, and some of these idiots are high as hell, and I think they should really just get their whole license revoked if they test positive.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with driving high, because when I drive regularly, sometimes when I used to smoke, I used to get sleepy on the road. So imagine driving a truck, you know, that's putting people's life on risk and putting mine on risk too. So
I can understand your situation. I mean, you're at home on home time, you have a joint, a beer, whatever, and you go back to work in a week and you test positive. That sucks. You know, I don't indulge in any of that, but my whole family does, and there's nothing wrong with it. Some of these drivers, there was a driver caught 2 days ago. He drove from Las Vegas to Phoenix and forgot to deliver his load. An Amazon driver went to Flagstaff, turned around and headed back towards Phoenix when they caught him, and he was high as hell.
yes, yeah, I'm not planning to smoke right once I get my CDL, because I don't want to revoke it, and I heard it's good money in the trucking company.
Just if you don't plan on when you get your CDL, stop now while you're trying to get your CDL.
Yeah, I did, but this is what I'm saying. I keep testing out positive. I don't know why.
Look, I'm telling you, since January 1st, I've been called in. I was in Florida, I was in California, and I was in Arizona. And just driving down the road, and I get called saying, you're being called in for a random DOT drug test 3 times in 2 weeks. And they tell me you need to pull over and 5 miles at exit 22, go right. It's a half a mile down on the right, and pee in a cup. And when you're out here, it's going to happen like that. And if you test positive with a CDL, you're going to be in big trouble.
Okay.
I mean, they just randomly call you out. You're on your way to Las Vegas, and randomly they call you and say you got 30 minutes to get to the clinic and test. There's truck parking. They called me during the pandemic, and I had to go to the High Desert Hospital in Victorville, California, which was the epicenter of the pandemic, and test for alcohol. And I said, wait, I've been home 2 weeks, and I don't drink, but I don't go back to work for a week. What if I tested positive for having a beer today? I'm over 21. I ain't driving. But I had to go, and if I didn't go, it was an automatic fail. And if I tested positive, I don't know what they would have done.
Okay, so quick advice from you guys. What you guys think I should do? Should I try to like I said, beat the test again on DOTs and try to go up there to prime, or should I just wait?
I would
Sometimes
wait
they
90
do
a hair
days.
test.
I would
wait
wait.
90 days is what I would wait. Give yourself
And I
90
would-
days, sir. Let yourself hydrate. Do some, exercise if you can, just like walking and stuff like that to help get the fat cells to exchange. And then I would just, once again, like Jeannie said, drink your water, stay hydrated,
Yeah.
you got to keep it flushing out of your system. And this is nothing against your person. We've all had our fun and stuff at one time or another.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of that. These are the rules that we had to play by. And so there you go. But I mean, I've seen a lot of stuff in the comments for 90 days, and Jeannie said 90 days, and I think Monkey Romeo said 90 days. I would say the 90 days, and the main reason why I say it is don't get that ding on your license, sir. You get that ding on your license, and it's a bad mark for you. And I would really hate like hell to see that for someone that wants to be in this industry to start that way.
I'm not trying to be mean. I was doing a lot more than weed when I was in my 20s, but I also didn't drive a semi, which is an 80,000 pound freaking weapon. And I got grandkids on this road. I do not want them took out. And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about drivers that are doing drugs and hardcore drugs while they're out here. And it's every day I see this stuff. A guy will come up to me in the truck stop and his mouth is moving side to side so fast. And I'm like, this guy is high as hell, and I'm like, I want to go home, but not in a box. It gets real fast out here. You got to be 100% or you ain't going home.
And I mean, I'll tell you, sir, just to give you a little background about myself, I tell people this all the time. I have 19 years sober. I'm a recovering addict. 8/25/2006 was the last time I touched a narcotic pill. So I know what you're, like I said, I know where you're at. And I would love to see you out here with us and just, give it that 90
Absolutely.
days. You know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
I mean.
All right. No problem. Understand.
Congratulations on your sobriety. That's amazing.
Yeah, congrats.
It's tough. It's tough.
I have since 2015. I broke my back in a truck accident, cracked my head open, and they put me on a lot of narcotic pain medicine, and I got addicted to them. I quit January 29, 2015.
That's what happened with me. Knee surgeries. The knee surgeries, and the doctor was just giving out the pain pills like it was candy. And yeah, next thing you know, you think it ain't gonna happen to you, and you're not gonna be the one. It's like, oh yeah, I drink a couple of beers, and yeah, I might, mess with a little flour every once in a while, but yeah, whatever, So, but then you turn around and it's like it hits you like a ton of bricks, So I understand completely. That's why I say, ain't looking down on you, sir. Just don't want to see you ruin that thing, because I do know that with that Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse and the SAP program and stuff like that, I did see I know of a gentleman that had to go through the SAP program, and it was like $10,000 or $12,000, I think, because it was a counselor you had to go see all the time, and there was constant drug testing, and basically he had to prove it. So, and it's,
Hey, did you hear about the girl? She only had a shirt on, no underwear, no pants, in Fresno today. A driver was delivering at a Hilton hotel, and he was in the back of the trailer putting stuff on dollies. She jumped in, took off with his truck while he was in the trailer, and he got to jump out. He did get injured, but he jumped out. The police caught her down the road, and she pulled over, but then she took off running naked, and they sent the canine after her, and he chewed her up pretty bad, but they got her. That was a crazy story. That's for real.
That's insane.
Drugs.
Welcome
Cisco,
to 2026.
Yeah, right. Cisco, go ahead and spit it out. What you got to spit out over there, okay? You've been dying, so come on now. Let's see what you got.
I am so pissed at the FOPT right now. I am pissed.
Oh, my Lanta. Okay.
Dude,
all right.
Matt came in alive today and told me we were gonna fucking do back road truck stop shit.
Yeah,
today, man.
I actually thought that's what this was going to kind of be. Was, a lot of fun and stories.
That's why I was doing that. I would never do that on a regular live.
We're just getting into all the serious stuff again.
And I apologize to all of you guys. I was just being a pain in the ass. But Matt promised us, man.
I am definitely looking like a bold-faced liar right now.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
That's why I was doing that in the comments. So no disrespect to anybody. I was just being a pain in the ass.
I thought he was basically just trying to mess with me, because I'm over here, everybody's trying to talk about serious stuff, and I'm reading these comments and I'm texting him going, bro, you're killing me right now.
I'm like, how come she gets to talk about two subjects? I don't even get to talk about one.
Oh, come on, Cisco.
Oh, man. Oh,
See, that right? Okay, now we're in there. Now we're here. We made it to the laughs and everybody having a good time. Let's keep it right here.
Honestly, I don't give a shit about transparency. I was just giving you a hard time.
I know. I know.
Care about it.
Trust me, I already know. That's why I'm like, this guy over here. I even got the old lady texting me going, Cisco's in the comments trading. And I'm like, he's messing with me, baby. I'm like, I wanted to sit here and say I literally just had a phone conversation with the man before I got on the live here. So,
ladies and gentlemen, honestly, I would never do that in any of your lives. I would never disrespect your page that way. You know that. But Matt, damn it, he came in and he said we were gonna have fun. We were gonna talk about cool shit. None of this serious stuff. And the first thing you guys get on here. It's serious shit, man.
Cisco, I come into the live. I literally come into the live going, "Oh, wait a minute here. What the hell is going on? This is not what I. This is not the discussion."
Your people there, Matt. What's going on?
Listen. Hey, listen. I'm only the president. That's the CEO right there.
Oh, right.
I mean, he just. I'm sitting here in stunned silence. I was sitting in stunned silence going, wait a minute, what the world is this? I was just on a live 3 hours ago. I made promises. What the hell are we doing?
Well, everybody wanted to be able to have a question and answer session, so I just figured I'd let everybody start asking questions. I mean, I can't control what they ask,
I'm glad we were able to help the kid, but I'm going, okay, we're getting way out of the league here today. I know, Tool Time, I love you, dude. I really, really love you. But this is all about just camaraderie tonight. We've shoved enough crap down people's throats. We are going straight up camaraderie, get to know one another, have a good night.
Oh, gosh. Can we talk about the old days?
Please. Please do. I've got 28 years in. Matt's got 26 years in. Like, you're around. I mean, Sarah's got 20-some years in. Rocky coming in right now. He's got, 30-some years in. We all old school. You want to bring on some old school talking. Let's do this. I'm all about this.
I'm a rookie.
Let's talk about the fun times that we used to have standing around the load board, which was the monitors hanging from the ceiling.
Oh, do you
black and white.
That? Oh, my
and
word.
a bank of payphones that we all had to have a roll of quarters to feed into to hurry up and call out a load that went ding, ding, ding.
Do you could set in the coffee shop all night for 25 cents.
You had the $4.50 load come up, and everybody, it just cleared out. It was like a ghost town. Everybody's fighting for a payphone to see who's going to get the $4.50 load.
Oh, yeah. They'd all jump up.
I never thought about that.
Yep.
Or the broker offices in the truck stops, or the broker offices in the motels across from the truck stops, where you all go hang out and drink coffee after days.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
A blast.
We used to stand in line.
17 years.
We used to all stand in line at the wall waiting on a phone to talk to your old lady or your family or whatever. So, and then if one guy decided that he was going to sit, you get the one guy that decided that he was going to monopolize the entire phone for like 4 hours, and everybody was ready to, he was not going to have an enjoyable walk back to his truck. I'll put it that way. I'm tired. I've been up for 4 days right now, and all I want to do is say hi to the old lady, and you're over here. Mm-hmm.
Where you walk into the Petro, and you want one of the booths in the truckers area, so you can use one of those phones while you order your dinner and stuff. Yeah. And there's a family of 4 sitting there that should have been back in the back dining room, and you can't get to a damn phone.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good thing about the 76. The 76 actually had a reserve section for just drivers.
Yeah. They did. Yeah.
Damn. I started driving. Oh, my God.
It was professional drivers only. Nobody else could sit there. If you didn't have a CDL, then it was chauffeur's license.
Yeah, that's when it was truck stops. And now it's travel centers.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
You're welcome, everybody. You're welcome.
We'll go back to that. We'll actually call it when TA was Ohio.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah. The Standard Oil days. Yeah. Yeah.
First day I walked in and told my old man that it was the first trip out. I said, "Hey, I went by a Petra." He says, "Petra? What the heck's a Petra?" He actually had to call a buddy of his, and he says, "That's not a Petro." And he gave me the name. He says, "That's what it used to be." He says, "It's a Petro now?" I said, "Yeah, it's called Petro." He says, "Oh, no. I'm glad I got out of trucking when I did."
Didn't they start like out of El Paso or something like that?
I believe so. I know it was Texas.
Yeah, it was. I want to say it was El Paso. I don't know why. Maybe that's just because that's where one is. But yeah, yeah. So Ohio. Oh, look, he went down the rabbit hole. I got him going.
You can hear the keyboard going.
I can hear the keyboard going. I know I got him going.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Petro originated in El Paso, Texas in 1975. Founded by Cardwell as the first self-service truck stop in the United States.
Yep.
Wow.
But what's funny is they were self-service, but right across the street was a 76, which is now maybe it's a Flying J now, but they were full service. You pull up there and you got out of your truck, they fueled your truck for you, they washed the windows.
I was just going to ask, does anybody remember that?
Yeah.
You pulled
You
up to the
guys
fuel
are
pump.
fucking old.
You left your keys.
Do you see the white in my beard there, Monkey Romeo?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm fucking old.
You pulled up to the pump. You left your keys in the truck. You didn't have anything to worry about. You went in and ate. They fueled it. They parked it. They brought your keys to you. Every single freaking time.
They would find you at the counter. At the Liars counter. They would find you.
Yeah.
You know what, you guys? This is the new technology. This is the new CB. Nobody's on the CB. We're all on these talks.
I like
No,
this
you're
better.
right.
I turn my CB on. I can't get anybody unless I see a cattle hauler at 2 in the morning.
Oh, you come across me and I'm in a hover bottom. I'll definitely say hi to you because I keep mine rolling at all times. So
I keep mine
I
on.
turn mine on, but the only time I hear anybody else is if we're in a traffic jam. They're like, "Is it an accident or is it construction?" That's it. I'm out trying to stay awake and I can't reach anybody.
We
I'll
call
tell
those
you,
we call those backup radios because the only time they ever turn them on is when there's a backup.
Yeah.
And then
tell
you
you a
always got
story.
that one guy talking shit.
I'll tell you a story if you guys want to. If you want to hear it, it's how
Do
I
not
learned
put
about
me
the
to sleep.
CB.
I'm tired.
No, it's actually a good story.
Okay.
This is why I leave my CB on at all times now. I was actually 3 years into my legal license, and I was car hauling, and I was coming across I-90 in upstate New York. In middle of the night, nobody but me and a couple other trucks on the road. State trooper, nobody's talking, so I shut the CB off. State trooper flies up my left side, and I'm thinking it lights on the whole 9 yards, and he slows down and cuts over in front of the truck in front of me. And I'm sitting there going, okay, he's pulling the truck over. So I swung out to the left lane. Of course, my CB's off. I'm not talking to anybody. Nobody can hear me. We're climbing a hill, and as we top the hill, there's a pair of headlights, looking right through my windshield. He's in this four-wheeler in the wrong lane.
Oh,
State troopers on my right, and I'm driving a car hauler. Okay, that's all steel construction frame. Behind him is the rig, and I'm staring at a pair of headlights, and I yanked the steering wheel as hard as I could to the right. Just missed the guy. Well, when I did it, I happened to look over, and the state trooper was looking through my passenger side window directly at me.
Oh my God.
And the truck behind me, him, it was lockup. I got out, his entire driver's side was destroyed, and I went into a panic. I thought I killed this guy, and I'm going, oh, cripe, I just killed a state trooper. I'm done. I'm just done. I literally got on my phone. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. I called my father. I said, listen, get bail money, get a lawyer. I'm going to prison for the rest of my life. He says, what? I think I killed a state trooper. And all you hear is bang coming from, this explosion coming from the inside of the car. And this state trooper blew his driver's door open and jumped out, and I'm going, oh, I'm dead. I'm dead. He's going to kill me. Never even phased, never even looked at me. He ran out in the street, grabbed his radio and said, the son of a bitch is still going. And I'm going, okay. and I'm panicked, dude. I am having a mini heart attack behind the back of my truck. The truck driver behind me is looking at me going, are you all right? No, I'm dying. I am dying right now. The state trooper the whole time was on the radio on Channel 19 screaming at me and the other truck, slow it down. There's a guy coming straight at us the entire time. The truck driver behind me said he was screaming at us. He was screaming. You didn't hear it? No, dude, I had my radio off. Nobody was talking to me. I have never turned my radio off since that day. Not one time.
Wow. Now that's a story. I'm awake now.
State trooper pulls it. And the worst part is it's a state trooper. It's an accident with a state trooper. What happens when that happens? Every state trooper anywhere within 50 miles shows up.
Wow.
So here comes the sergeant. Here comes the lieutenant. Here comes, it was like SWAT coming in. And I'm third year in. I'm going, oh my word. I'm just, sergeant come over, patting me on the shoulder. Don't worry, this isn't on you. State trooper pats me on the shoulder. This isn't on you. Don't just take some breaths, dude. Pull it over to the shoulder. Take some breaths. This is, man, I'm telling you, I thought I was dead. I was waiting for them to all pull their guns and shoot my ass.
This industry, I have one foot in the grave and one in jail at all times.
Yeah.
That's why I was telling that kid, quit smoking while you're trying to test before you get your CDL, because you got to be 100% out here. You can't have a slow reaction.
I'm telling you, that radio.
You were just driving down the road, and all hell breaks loose. That's just that quick. I've seen so much out here. Go ahead.
Oh, Cisco's back.
Listening to that kid, that made me want to smoke a joint.
Oh man!
Give him a fucking dream and just fucking let's smoke a joint, dude. Just give it up, man.
Hey, listen, I'm trying to get the party row going. I actually put a chair out in front of my truck for 5 hours. I'm sitting in the middle of the truck lot parking lot right now. I sat there for 5 hours today, just waiting for one truck driver to get out and have a conversation. They're all hiding in their truck, man. Everyone. I'm going, man.
Oh, you didn't park
I'm getting party row fired back up again. I'm tired of hearing, well, it's the old days. It'll never come back. That's because you all have that mindset that it's never going to come. I'll bring it back myself. I don't give a crap. I'll do it every day, every weekend. It don't matter.
God, we used to have so much fun. We used to barbecue on the back row.
Yeah.
You could always count on a bed bugger.
Yeah, like tailgating.
Yes.
A bed bugger would just pull off customers' grills and their lawn furniture and everything. Why do you think they strap it on the back of their trailers? Because that's the stuff they're going to pull off, and we're going to party. We had some, man. I'm going to bring back some memories. Mesquite, Texas. The old TA that used to be in Mesquite, Texas. And across the way was a motel with a swimming pool, a bunch of brokers' offices, and a private club upstairs. And God, we used to party like mad in that back row in that TA. It was so much fun. We would bobtail, go to the grocery store, buy a bunch of steak, hamburgers, chicken, potato salad, all this kind of stuff, come back to the truck stop, have a big cookout. The security guards would come by and say, hey, you guys okay? Yeah, we're good. You want a beer? No, I can't drink. Well, you want a piece of steak or a piece of chicken? Oh, yeah, I'll take that. Well, we had so much fun.
Yep.
And we got it, and that's the thing. It doesn't have to be dead. It doesn't have to stay that way. We just got to get people back into it and realize that the truck is just, it's a place to sleep. It's a place to do your job. But unless you can talk to truck drivers, you get to, listen to the stories. Heck, some of them can give you directions just by, they've been out here so long, they know all the interstates and back roads. just listen to what they've got to say. You know, the education that you can pick up, the laughs, the camaraderie.
Oh, and the jokes.
I got a story for you.
Kick it.
Okay, you guys ready?
All right.
Okay. So my name's Penny. They just call. I did TikToks with my monkey because I literally drive with a monkey. So I was an enclosed car hauler for 7 years. I owned my trucks. I owned 5 of them, and I was leased on to United Road.
Okay.
I had the old Wagoner soft-sided enclosed with the bubbles.
Yeah, I know what those
on
are.
each end. Okay, so anyways, I had picked up 8 Porsches in Houston, and I'm taking them to Chicago. And of course, I didn't scale or anything, but so I got 7 SUVs and a sports car on me. And I get to, I'm just got on I-30 at Texarkana, and I go to that scale coming into Arkansas, and I get a red light. So I pull into that scale, and I'm literally on the scale for like 3 minutes because the light inside the scale is red, and I can't move until it turns green. I'm stuck on that scale. And all of a sudden, I keep thinking, what did I do? And then all of a sudden, I hear drivers, set your brakes and come inside. So I'm a whole 5 feet tall. And so I set the brakes and I get out of that big ass car hauler. And I walk up to the window because there's not really an office you can go into. But he said, no, come inside. So I went in there. There's one little desk. And he said, sit down. And I sat down, and I'm thinking, what did I do? And he said, how much fuel do you got on? And right then it hits, I'm overweight. So I said, oh, I just filled up at that Flying J coming into Arkansas. I think it's exit 7 or something on the 30. And he says, he prints out this little receipt and says, you're overweight. And it's like 100 and something pounds overweight. And he looks in my truck, like from his office window, and he says, is that a monkey hanging upside down in your CB cord? And I said, yes, sir. And he goes, girl, get out of my scales and don't put no more fuel on.
The monkey saved you. The monkey saved you.
Monkey saved me. Oh, God, they weren't ready for us that day. Oh, my God.
My father had something like that. He was actually, I was big into snakes. I've always been big into snakes. He's never been a fan.
God.
But he came across a truck driver somewhere in the South, and I don't remember where he said he got it, but it wasn't nothing more than a small little corn snake. It wasn't it wasn't nothing special. But he had it in a glass case right next to his seat, and he got pulled in for a DOT inspection. When they went to open the door on the passenger side, they looked in and saw the snake, and he said the DOT officer went white in the face, closed his doors, and said, "Get the hell out of here." I'm saying, well, if that's all it's going to take, I'm going to start carrying a freaking boa around with me.
Absolutely.
Oh, awesome. I was in Youngstown, Ohio. Well, Hubbard, Ohio, actually. I was at Truck World, if anybody knows where that is.
Yeah,
know exactly where it is.
I was at Aaron's Pub having a cocktail and another driver. We were sitting there. We were BSing and reminiscing about old times. And he said, I got to get up. I got to go feed my pet. And I'm like, what do you got? And he's like, I got a goat. And I'm like, no. Sure enough, this guy, and it's on my TikTok. If you go on my profile and you look, there's a video of this guy and his damn goat. He had a goat in his truck. I had never seen anything like that before.
Before I started driving trucks, I used to work in a warehouse, and this guy would come in, and he'd have a skunk.
Oh my!
Yeah,
I saw
he had
something
the
like that
glands
today.
removed and all that, but he carried a skunk in his truck. And
I saw
I was
something
just
like
like,
that
yeah,
today.
no, I'm good.
You know, I see some of these animals, especially, and this is the worst platform for it, but you see some of these animals like raccoons and all that, and you think, oh, they make great pets. No, they don't. They
Wait, I
do
have
not.
a friend that has 2 raccoons, and these raccoons are so tame. I wouldn't have a raccoon, but they're really tame.
Look, I know a woman that's going to kill me for saying this, but I'm telling you, raccoons are the most useless animals out there.
Dude, I gotta sleep at some point tonight, man. Come on. You're
No,
Are you serious?
they're great for my trash can. Come on.
They
Oh
are the
my
most
God.
useless animals out there.
Oh my Atlanta, dude. Sam, you know, I'm going to
Is she
get even
listening?
for this. She's down at the bottom in the comments,
She is
dude.
right there. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get even. I will get even.
Neon blankety blank signs. Raccoons
Yes.
are useless animals.
Yes, I'm going to get even. I promise. I will get even for this if it's the last thing I do. I promise you. This guy over here,
I
man.
think you're upsetting somebody. I really.
This guy
I
over
see some
here,
angry
man.
faces down there.
Oh man, dude! Like I'm over here going, as soon as I heard you say it, I'm like, dude, no, man. What did I do to you today?
What's up with Rocky? I'm not hearing him. Why is he not in here?
He's down there.
To y'all.
There
I'm
you
just
go.
listening.
That's my buddy. I like Rocky.
Making me think about it was probably back in it had to be 2000 2001. Me and a buddy of mine that ran together hauling cars, and we were in the old cab overs, and we're going down 95 loaded out of Jacksonville. Done stopped at Charlie T's and fueled and showered and ate lunch, and we get going down just south of Fort Pierce, probably 10 miles before that rest area down at the 106 in St. Lucie. And turkey flies across the road between us. They were on the shoulder, right? And I was in the lead. Them trucks wouldn't run, but hell, it'd be 65 mile an hour downhill. And we're going through there, and these things are on the side, and one hops up and flies across and right in the middle of the windshield of that cab over, him behind me. The
Damn.
turkey came through the windshield, went through the curtain into the little tiny sleepers we had. Thought it was dead, right? Came through the windshield. So get
I would
pulled
have shit
over.
myself. I swear.
It took both windows out, both windshields
Oh my God.
out of the truck.
Definitely
Busted both
pissed
of them.
myself.
Ended up in the sleeper. So he stops. We get off the side of the road. I stop, and I'm back up there toward him, and walk back there. And he's trying to come out with his turkey that he thought was, thought it was dead by that time. But this thing came alive about the time he trying to get this thing out of the bunk and was going crazy.
Oh
And
my
I'll tell
God.
you, he pulled turkey feathers out of that truck for years. I
Oh my
guarantee you.
God. You have the best fucking stories I ever heard in my life.
They were everywhere. I mean, everywhere. And he pulled them out for years after that. So we're on the side of the road trying to get a glass guy to come out. And we need to deliver that night down in Miami area. We were going down there, Kendall Toyota and them. And man, we could not get a glass guy to come out and put windshields in that thing. So we drove down to the rest area. They wouldn't do it on the side of the road. So he's driving to the rest area with no windshields, trying to go slow. And that damn cab, imagine how much wind's coming in the front end of that thing. Man, it was crazy. We finally got somebody to come out and put glass in it. And they were like, what the hell happened? Well, back then we didn't have cameras on our phones. We didn't even have phones. Cell phones, so
not even GPS.
Right. So we're at damn payphones trying to get somebody to come out, calling glass companies. Man, that was crazy.
Are you still car hauling?
No, I don't anymore. I don't drive anymore. I haven't driven. It's been probably 2 years since I've driven on the road, and then for the last 6-7 years it was just kind of part-time. I did go out and run one of my trucks during the pandemic a little bit. and
When
all.
you go
But
car hauling, were you owner operator or were you with the?
I was leased to a carrier here in
Yeah.
Jacksonville, and then a Centurion for years back in, was it 90, in 95. I started hauling cars. End of 96, I bought my first truck, and then was leased on with Centurion for years, and then bought a trailer, and then in 2000 got two more, had some drivers. I had 13 trucks and trailers and all, and then I had a
I
couple
got to
doing.
5.
Did you?
Yeah, but I had one of my drivers died in Minnesota in 2019. It was 20 below zero, and he was running team. They had took Audis out of Houston up to Minnesota, and we couldn't STI our cars because doing enclosed, you're doing Rolls Royces and Porsches and stuff like that. So they had to set on the lot or near the lot till the morning, till the manager came in. They checked the cars for damage. They signed our apps and we'd leave. Well, United Road had called Pilot, Kevin over at Pilot, called my drivers and said, listen, we got a new account. It's 500 miles away, and we want to show a show of force, unity. We're going to have 8 trucks show up at the same time. We want you guys to be there so you have special permission to unload those cars tonight and get on down the road. Nobody called me. And so those kids got up at like 11 o'clock at night, 20 below zero, and they were unloading those cars. Well, that trailer had just came out of Saxton's in Houston, and they fixed the hydraulics, they fixed the ramp, and the chain, those old Wagner trailers, the chain, it looked like it was fraying. So they were supposed to put brackets in it, but they put screws in that chain. And I'm in Seattle delivering cars. I can't check their work. And so when they got 5 cars on the ground and they were unloading the 6th car, they had 3 more left on there. And when it's 20 below zero, the tire straps are frozen to the tires. Yeah. So Juan was on the ramp underneath that car trying to pry the tire straps off of it or loosen them. And Victor was up on the top ramp fixing to pull the strings for the hydraulics. And right then, those screws that they put in there and that chain, they weren't even heat resistant. They bent like C's. OSHA showed them to me. They were like copper, and they were soft, and they bent like C's. That chain snapped. The hydraulic they fixed went through the roof, and the ramp they fixed came down on him with an Audi Q7 in it. And he died instantly, 26 years old. And I get this call at midnight, blood-curdling screams. I started giving trucks away. I got out of car hauling. I started giving trucks away. I told my drivers, you want to be an owner-operator, take over the payments. I'm done. I don't want to be responsible for anybody else. So it's just me, a monkey, and a truck now.
Was it? I had one next to me one night up here at the Talleyrand yard loading, and we always got our loads late. And Auto Carrier Express, which most of them guys used to be Centurion people, and they went and started their own thing, Auto Carrier Express. They hadn't been in business about 2 years, and we had this guy, I can't even remember his real name, but we called him Dale Earnhardt because he looked just like Dale Earnhardt, mustache and everything. Well, he was loading, he was to the right side of my truck, and we're loading one night, and around the entire perimeter of the loading yard was those big old Jersey wall concrete barricade things all around inside the fence.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're loading. He backed his unit up on the top over the hood of the truck. And a lot of the guys, I used to do it too, we would hook our chains. Okay, back then we were still chained. And he would, kneel down on the edge of the damn head rack there on about a 2-inch wide piece of rail. And you'd be fumbling around trying to get your chains hooked and stuff so you could just run your ratchets up and didn't have to climb up on the hood and all the hook chains. Well, he had his tie-down bar up there with him. He always tied it down from up there. And the one far out over the end of the hood, he's tightening the chain. And if you're familiar with those ratchets and the way them chains were, them things would kind of get bound up on you, and you'd go to pull, and the chain would slip, and you'd go.
Yep.
He went for a ride head first into the concrete barrier over the end of the truck. Damn ambulances and everything out there, they had to life flight him, dude. He busted his head open, and he came back to work. He had a big old lawsuit, big suit, and should not have been working, but instead of taking that and taking the money and going and doing something else, he wanted to haul cars so bad he gave up all of that to be able to come back and haul cars in a few years. And I was like, man, I'd have found me something else to do. I've seen some crazy stuff out there.
Definitely
I
dedicated.
remember they used to do
You guys
cars.
pinned your locks, right?
Which ones?
You pinned your locks on open racks.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I had airlocks, and the only reason that ramp came down with all that going on is because of the weather, 20 below zero. Our airlocks were frozen out. It would have stopped it.
I never would have worked with airlocks. The only thing I ever worked with pin locks. Always.
Yeah.
And even with the pin locks, man, I'd see guys not pin their decks off. They'd have the 5 on top loaded or 6 with a 4-car head rack loaded, and they'd just run everything up and start loading the bottom and not pin off anything.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that
a lot.
and blow a main line or something, or blow a line on that deck, and the damn
You guys
things come
used to
down.
freak me out when you would pull up that great big SUV or that whatever, or back it up on that top one where you just have those little wires, or you're going over the front of your cab. I'm like, I know I'd hit
the headache rack. Yeah.
Yes, that's crazy. I never did that.
I used to put F-250s up on the headache rack.
Yeah.
God.
We had one night up in Commerce, loading Toyotas one night up there, that backing up, and I've heard about it, and I probably had only been hauling cars 3-4 years. And this guy thought his pockets were open up there, and they weren't, and he's backing up with a Tacoma pickup.
No.
Backing up with a Tacoma, went to put his foot on the brake and hit the gas and went over the end. Now the front end of the Tacoma came down and stayed standing up on the tailgate, and the nose of it was up on the hood of the truck. The front end of it up on the front of the truck. So they got a wrecker out there to hold the front end of the pickup up, and he backed his tractor out, and they let it down, and Toyota totaled that one. They don't.
Has anybody hauled Mahindras?
I never hauled tractors.
Flatbed I have.
These Mahindras are like off-roads, like Razors, but they look like little Jeeps with a row bar.
Oh, those. Okay.
Okay, so I got a load of those coming out of Michigan, and nobody had ever been able to load more than 5 because they put the row bars on them before you haul them, so they were too high, so you couldn't put one underneath it and all this stuff. So I kept thinking, how can I haul more of these? And then I thought, if you were stuck under a bridge, how would you lower that truck? Take the air out of the tires.
Yeah.
So I'd load one on, strap the tires down, and then start letting the air out, tighten the straps, let the air out, tighten the straps.
Yep.
And man, I got 8 of them on, and my terminal manager, Chris McMullen out of Houston, said, how'd you do it? I send guys up there all the time. They're only getting 5 or 6. I'm like, just these nails are made for something.
That was one of the tricks that you used. I mean, when I hauled, had a big load, which was mostly pickup trucks and vans, I take the air out to almost maybe 15 pounds. Literally, the rim is almost on top of the deck. Lower it, strap that down, and yank it down to the wheel wells. And, that's, of course, again, that's back when we ran chains. You bring that all the way down, you can put a whole load on it. You're overweight, but you can put a whole load on it.
Yeah, that was
hey,
common
you guys,
practice.
I'm going to mute myself for a minute. I just got to get fuel.
Well, that was common practice to be letting air out of tires to get height down. And then I had a connection for my air hose on the tractor and had one on the trailer back there.
Yep.
I had the air tanks where I could hook my air hose to, and I'd
fill them back up.
Fill them back up with air, and
that's how we used to do. we used to air our tires up that way.
Yeah.
Every old school guy I ever knew had a quick connect on his air tank, so he could just plug a hose into it and air up his tires. I never had the luxury of ever running a car haul I used to call them parking lots.
Right. Yep.
But I used to work for a little tiny itty bitty company called Allied Van Lines, and when I would move people's furnishings, occasionally they would throw a car in the mix, and you have to deck this car in the trailer. And if you had more than one car, you had to deck a couple of cars, or sometimes 3 or 4 cars in the trailer. And that was always a lot of fun. But me being the rookie that I was and not knowing anything about what I was doing, I ran a car from California to Connecticut. And I stop every so often and check, and everything was riding okay and everything was great. But one of the load bars that I had that was up over the car to hold their household goods up over the car, somewhere along the line dropped. It fell out of the E-track and ran and ended up on the roof of this car, dented the car. Half the furniture fell on top of the car. Yeah, it was ugly. I won't even talk about that claim, but but back then we didn't have straps. That wasn't even thought of. Everything was a chain with a combination hook on the end of it, so you could. The frames were all slotted then.
Yeah.
The frames nowadays aren't slotted. They don't have a hole in the frame, so you can't cinch them down like you used to.
No, they've gotten rid of it because everything went to aluminum. There's nothing more. The holes aren't there, and neither are. I mean, there are some models that used to have specialized tie downs, front and back, and they were actually welded to the frame. They wasn't even in the frame itself. It was welded to the frame, and you used those to tie down, and you did either a V or an A to pull down in opposite directions. Today with the aluminum frames, it's all straps.
I remember that the combination that I had, which was a ratchet strap, but the end of it had 3 different attachments. It was a T hook, a J hook, and something else I can't remember what it was.
The other one we called it an R hook.
The
that's
R
it.
hook too. Yes.
And you just selected whichever one you needed to use for that slot that it needed for that vehicle. And that was how you cinched it down. And you better cinch it all the way down, because that bounce, which was what got me with that load bar, that the car would bounce up and down if you didn't. If you didn't cinch it down as tight as you possibly could get it, that car would just sit there back there and just bounce up and down and up and down, and it did it. Oh my gosh, the claim on that was massive.
I was so used to chaining cars that when everything went to straps, and in 07 when I ordered my new Western Stars with the soft tie system from Cottrell, man, I was so used to cinching everything down and having that fist full of room in between the deck and the car below it and whatever. That when we went to strap, man, it took me a while to be comfortable with still only having a fist or so between them and everything. And they always told us, you just need a fist or so, maybe just a touch more, and you'll be fine, because they don't bounce up, they bounce down. And I said, man, it was nerve-wracking there at first when we went to straps. But the straps, to me, made it just easier. The first generation trailers and stuff weren't that much easier, because you had to climb up there and get the straps over. But now, with all these easy loader tractors, even the second position on the truck comes down where you can strap them from the ground. You don't have to be up on the ladders or climbing around up there fighting with the straps.
Well, you were talking about Fort Pierce there a few minutes ago, and it brought back an old memory. I gave a waitress at a Denny's gave her a heart attack. We were hauling cars down to a spot that it was a drop area that we would haul snowbirds down to.
Yeah.
And you would drop the cars, leave the keys at the the front desk of the motel, and people would come in and pick up their cars as they needed to. And right next door was a Denny's. Well, I was down there during the summer dropping cars, and I'm 6.5 feet tall. And if you're working a car carrier and you're that tall, you're in a lot of trouble if you don't pay attention.
Yeah.
And then here I am. I got the bottom unloaded. I'm sweating like a dog. I'm not really hydrating the way. I started getting dizzy, so I stood straight up. And when I did, head cracked on the bar above me. And I'm not thinking nothing of it. I cussed a little bit, held my head for a minute, went back to unloading. Well, I started getting really dizzy, and I said, okay, I'm going to get something to drink before I finish unloading. So I walked into Denny's. And here's this nice old woman. She's behind there. She says, what can I do for you? And I said, I just need a cold iced tea. I'm good. And she went to turn around. She turns back around. She says, are you okay? I said, yeah, I'm just hot, and I just need something to cool down. She says, no, are you okay? And I said, yeah, as far as I know. Why? She said, you should really go to the men's room. So while she's getting the iced tea, I said, okay, well, obviously she's seeing something I'm not. I feel like I'm sweating like there's no tomorrow. Go in the men's room, and I got blood trickling down both sides of my head. Down my face, down my chin. It's coming down my shirt. I'm not paying attention, really. I thought I was just sweating. Went to pull my hat off, and the hat was holding in everything. So here it is. I just coated the entire men's room with blood that had been storing up under my hat. And I'm going, okay, this can't be good. So I'm sitting there, and I put my hat really quick back on. The lady's at the door. I got it opened up. There's blood all over the floor. She says, do I need to take you down to the ER? I said, I don't know. I said, hey, let me go out to the truck. So I went out to the truck, and, of course, I've got a gallon of water. And the most useful tool that I swear by even today, I had a bottle of super glue.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, okay, and she, I mean, right on my tail, she's pale white. She's got her keys in her hand. She's going, listen, it's just across the street. Just let me take you across the street. She's got this sweet tea in one hand, her keys in the other, begging me to take me across. I said, listen, I don't need all that. She said, what do you mean? I said, just give me a second. And I took my hat off, took the gallon of water. I rinsed really well. And she says, what are you going to do? And I took the super glue off the top, and I just said, can you just, I know this is asking a lot, but just kind of put my hand where the cut is. So she moves my hand, and I'm feeling it. It's got to be like a 3 or 4 inch gash on the top of my head. And she says, what are you going to do? I just pinched it together and put all the super glue I could squeeze off on it and held it. And she looks at me and she says, can I take you over to the ER now? I said, no. I said, now I'm fine. I just put my hat back on, went back to unload. I'm not kidding you. That woman walked away shaking her head. I thought she was going to vomit. I'm going, oh my word. I swore that old lady was going to have a heart attack right there on the spot.
You ever bang your
Matt,
head
we have a
into one of
question
them?
in the comments. Why didn't that knock any sense into you?
No, listen, I've got one of the hardest heads there is. Knocking sense into me takes more than a steel bar.
Did you ever knock your head or your damn elbow or arm? You know the little pins that you could grab a hold to for the pins on your decks?
Yes.
And you be scrunched down under there trying to hook a chain and bring your head up, and that damn thing stab you in the back of the damn head, or you're pulling on a tie-down bar and the chain gives and your arm goes right into it. I had to pull one and let me get my arm out of that thing. My left, just above my elbow, damn thing went in me damn near all the way to the actual pin. And I was like, holy crap, stuck a hole in my arm.
Oh, yeah. A little bit of super glue, you're back to work.
Yeah. A rag and electrical tape is what I used to use.
After all these years, I finally figured out what the hell's wrong with you, Matt.
Well, hey, I've got the top of my head. If I shaved the top of my head and it looked like a little bit like Mike or like you bald son gun, I'd literally have a road map up there.
That's why in that picture, there's a black hat on my head.
I'm just going to have to tell you that they say bald is beautiful. Thank you. Okay?
All
right? Back up off of us, guys. It's got the receding hairlines, okay? Gee,
It's a
know, you
solar.
none.
It's a solar. Hang on. It's a solar power for a solar panel for a sex machine. Don't ever forget it.
Hey, it's your story. You can tell it any way you want.
That's right.
That's right.
That's the first time I've heard that one. That was good.
Yeah, that was good. That was the first time I've heard that, but that was very good. Yes, sir.
For those of you that don't know who I am, I was with Matt
Way back when.
in it. And we're not going to bring that up.
Yeah, nope. We're having a good time tonight.
So if Matt and I start yelling at each other, just sit back and enjoy.
All you have to do is just start giving him a little bit of a hard time, Don, and you know how he gets. He starts stepping and fetching so bad it's not even funny. You almost get a little stutter out of him. So
you know, the thing is I was actually Matt and I were on the phone earlier for about an hour and a half. That's the first time I've had the chance to talk to that man in
about 2 years.
About a year and a half. Because,
it's been a while.
Because everything that's been going on, and you know, I hope it's not another 2 years or.
Nah, we had some good.
You know,
we had some really good laughs. It was good to catch up.
But yeah, I've been.
You gotta tell them about your 2x4 experience, buddy. We're all telling stories in here. They'd like that one.
Well, first off, I'd like to let them all know that August 19th will make 34 years for me.
Yeah.
Wow. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations.
He's also and just so everybody knows, he's also an ex-military man. So he's actually served for our country as well. 7
years in the Corps. And then
your service.
And now I can honestly say I'm a cancer survivor.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Are you going for the trifecta there, sir? I mean, my goodness. You're a Marine, which, don't get me wrong, my uncle's a Marine. Well, he's passed away now, but, you know, to be a truck driver for 30 years in the Corps for 7 years, and then you beat cancer, too, like, I'm just going to say you're a Triple Crown winner right now, sir. So, you know, congratulations.
Hang on now. Now,
it's the green crayons.
Don't you worry about the fucking crayons I eat.
Okay, you got me on that one. I'm joking.
I about spit my drink all out over the computer, man. I really did on that one.
I was swallow, yeah.
It's an inside joke that us jarheads eat crayons. So,
wow.
You know, because we're a bunch of little kids. Yep. That's why we're the first ones in and the last ones out. But anyway.
Well, you've got to be special to do that.
Well, I was special when I was doing that.
I didn't need them.
Good gracious.
I just colored on the windows of the short bus with my helmet on my way to school.
I licked all mine.
Hey, I've got a picture somewhere that says I've driven that short bus.
Right. How long did you haul cars, Matt?
Oh. Me?
Yeah. Did you haul
11
cars
years,
for quite
sir.
a while?
11 years.
Did you ever do some stupid shit that you're like, what in the hell was I thinking?
Yeah, I actually strapped, what the heck was it? It was one of those old 1970 vans, you know, the ones with the crystal ball or the balls in the back. I had one of those on the top rear of my deck with only with 4 chains on it, and was going through Indiana before I started recognizing that maybe the deck was a little too, it wasn't going to hold the weight.
Yeah.
And by the time I caught it, the rear tires were off the deck and it was hanging over the plate.
Ooh.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, I about lost that whole van on the highway. So yeah, I think that was the worst thing other than the fact that I tried loading during an ice storm. And when you try to do that on the top, try to do that on the top deck during an ice storm. Yeah, that it doesn't work very well.
It is not fun. I've done it.
No,
I'll tell you what.
No.
My daughter was, I think it was my oldest daughter was with me, and she was in the bunk sleeping. I had a load of, I was sitting here thinking, what the hell did I have on? Was it BMWs or Mercedes or what? But it was Volvos. And I was down at West Palm, and we were having one of these damn big-ass tropical storm things come in and sat here for days, you know, dumping rain on us, and it's raining like hell. And I got down there, and we had to park on this back street and unload, and they would send porters out to get the units. So my second head rack position, got them all off, and, man, my 2000 Classic, the head rack on it, the deck would slid in three places. You could slide the entire deck forward or backward toward the front of the truck or back. And then on the front quarter of the deck would open up for drop pockets for the bigger units.
Yep.
And then the back of the deck, you slide out to meet the trailer to make your bridge.
Right.
Well, it's raining like hell. I grabbed that number 3 up there on the top of the trailer, get it off, and I'm running over there. It's pouring down rain. My daughter's in the truck watching TV or doing something. And so I climb up the ladder behind the sleeper, get in that damn unit and drive it off, and forgot to slide out for my bridge.
Oh.
And drove it off the end of the deck. So I'm up there. Now the doors won't open because the vehicle is sitting down on the deck, and the tubing of the head rack, I was right up against it, and I couldn't open the door. So I'm honking the horn. Yeah, I had to climb out the damn window, and I'm trying to holler to my daughter. I'm beating on the damn top of the sleeper, trying to get her to come out because she could work the valves a little bit for me. She was probably 92.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, trying to get her to come out. Well, she fell asleep, and she thought it was just me unloading, beating on the side of the on the roof of the truck. I'm up there beating on it. Hey, come work these valves. So I get down. So I go down and hear the guys walking back, and I'm like, son of a bitch. He's going, no, I done tore the bottom of this unit up. And luckily, it was a Volvo XC90. So luckily, all it did was scuff it up a little bit under there and got the mud flaps behind the front steer axle. Rear axle. Got those. So tore them up a little bit. So we get it on the ground, and he says, I don't know if I can take that one. I said, I just looked under it and just scuffed that up a little bit, and y'all are probably going to charge me for some mud flaps or whatever there, and just ride it up. And we'll take care of it later. But my daughter, she comes out and she was like, oh, well, why didn't you tap on the roof of the truck or something? I said, tap on it. I was beating the shit out of it and stomping on it, and you were asleep. But I was able to get it off of there and get it up and get it off and everything. But, man, I was like, what in the hell was I thinking? I never put that deck together and not slide that out. But I did, out of my routine, rushing like hell and everything. But I had a load of Mercedes, the MLs, if you remember the old MLs.
I remember the MLs.
Out of Vance, and we were taking them out there to Salt Lake for the Winter Olympics back in, when was that, 2000 or 2002?
Yeah, it was something like that.
But the Salt Lake Winter Olympics, they had all these Mercedes units going out. Mercedes would give these people shit to drive, for these events, advertisement money.
Yeah.
So we had loads of them going out there. So I picked the load up in Vance, and I didn't haul 7 or 8. I always put 9 on.
Right.
Though we were overweight by quite a bit. But
quite a bit.
So I leave out of Vance, Alabama, and get out there, and I'm going around the scales everywhere. So I cut off out of Albuquerque, running up through Colorado there on this back road that I should not have been on, but it was getting me around the 2 scales. And I'm getting up through there, and my damn drive shaft comes out of the truck. Climbing a hill on this damn 2-lane back road, just come around a hard left-hand curve. No phone service. We did have cell phones. I think I had Nextel, as a matter of fact, back then. So I'm standing up on the top of the cab trying to get a half a bar to call in and get somebody on the damn way. Nobody around, no service. Nobody could call me back. We get this record company to come out. The people just up the road, there was a house that way back off the road. So I walk up there, see if I could use their landline. And this guy's like, yeah, here's a phone book, you know. So I start calling all over the place, trying to get a damn record. Finally get a wrecker out there, and the guy's dad owned the record company, and all their drivers, everybody was off, of course. And so the son comes out with 2 kids with him with the big wrecker, and he says, I've never run this truck. I said, well, I've been on a hook a few times. I can hook it up. Well, then he couldn't get the truck moving with my truck and trailer behind it. And up there, you're not supposed to haul it as a, one unit. It should have been 2 wreckers, one to get the trailer, one to get the truck.
Right.
So he's there, and we get hooked up, and we're trying to take off. I'm sitting in the passenger seat, and he can't get going up the hill, and he's having a hard time shifting gears. And he was doing me a damn huge favor by coming out and getting me out of there. So I said, you want me to drive this thing? Yeah, if you can. I said, yeah, I can drive it. So I drive it. We have to go up to this other main road, and we had to come back around some other roads because we couldn't have the 3 pieces.
Right.
Because we were going to have to come back by the scale. So I drive it back to Albuquerque to this lot, this driveline shop. This dude that was driving the wrecker owned a little used car lot. He took me to his used car lot. He gave me a car to use until my truck was fixed, because this happened, of course, like on a Friday.
Right.
I'm supposed to be in Salt Lake delivering on Saturday at the Mercedes dealer so they can get all this shit over to the Olympics. Well, that didn't happen. My truck sat there all week long getting worked on. He gave me this rental car. I went and got me a hotel room, which had an awesome Mexican restaurant in it and bar. So that was nice. And I got to use that little rental car. It didn't charge me for none of that shit, and charged me like $500 for coming and towing my truck. So this driveline
shop. You don't see that
shop
anymore.
No.
What year was this?
This had to be, when was the Salt Lake Olympics? I think it was
2002.
I think it was. So I sit there in a hotel for the week. They get my truck going. On that Friday, we leave, and they've got this massive ass snowstorm shit coming through. And I'm on some back road running around these scales, and I come up behind another truck, and we're doing like 10 miles an hour. You can't see the road. All you can see is these like 10-foot tall metal things that the snowplows use to guide whether they're on the road or not,
Yeah.
And we come across an area where it's covered in freaking elk or moose, whatever the hell they were. And they would not move out of the road. So me and him stop. We're on the CB, and he's like, hey, we're going to have to stop here. These damn things are laying in the middle of the road, which we think is the road. It's like a foot of snow on the ground, on the road. So we get out there, and we're trying to shoo these things off the damn road so we can get through there. Come to find out, he was overweight also and going around the scales. So we get these things off the road. It took hours to get to the damn interstate. We get on interstate, and I head up, and I get to the dealership where these were going late at night to unload. And all 3 decks on the top of my trailer are froze up, and my top middle deck will not move at all. Yep. So I'm out there with my torch, heating up the post a little bit around the collars where the collars are froze to the post, and trying to get hydraulic fluid moving and stuff and get it warmed up. I get it up, and get the bottom unloaded, but I could not get that one down. So I called into the company, and there was a day cab driver that had unloaded not long before me and had just gone. Well, he wasn't far away, and he went to a hotel, and he was one of the day cab company drivers. So I get him to come over. Company calls him. He comes over, and I get him to operate my top back deck. I unchain that one in the top middle that's all the way up in the air. I climb up there and get in it. The decks are all froze up, iced up, snow everywhere. I drive that unit off of that top middle deck onto the top back deck. with it in the air. He hooked a chain on the front and a chain on the back and then let me down so I could drive the damn thing off of there. Here I am a damn week late. He was too, because something happened to him on his way out. So luckily I had somebody there that could run the damn thing to help me get unloaded.
Well, you got to love those hydraulics back then.
Oh my gosh, what a pain in the ass when it was cold.
Didn't diesel fuel help you?
You can mix a little bit of diesel fuel into the hydraulics, but too much of it, and you would blow the hydraulic bar right out.
Yeah.
You guys have forgotten more than I know, so I just was curious.
Yeah, and I used to, get the tanks flushed. And actually, that truck that I was in was a 94 little short nose FLD with a little tiny 42 or 46-inch sleeper on it with a 4-car Delavan head rack and trailer.
That was me. I ran the Delavan, and boy, every truck, the truck I drove, it was a coffin sleeper. Literally a coffin sleeper.
Yeah.
And you could sit in your driver's seat. You could literally you could put your elbow behind the driver's seat and you were touching the bunk.
Yes.
I mean, you could lay your elbow right on the bunk.
Yep. Yeah. The bed was right there at the back of the armrest, man. It was right there. Wasn't much room. You had enough room for a small duffel bag full of clothes and a little bit of shit in the passenger seat floorboard.
That's it.
With a handful of things under the bed, but wasn't room for much.
You were driving a day cab with a bed behind you.
Oh, that's how that 359 was that I drove. It didn't have hardly anything behind it. I still remember that was one of the first trucks I ever got to drive.
Yeah.
Gosh, this is going to bring back a bunch of memories. So what was the first truck anybody ever drove? I'll start it off. It was a 74 Brockway.
You drove a Brockway?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Oh man, now I'm jealous. That was the I have talked to so many truck drivers. My dad drove a Brockway. He still, of all the trucks, he still brags about that one.
That was an awesome truck. It really was. It would go anywhere. It would do anything.
He still today brags about that one.
And it could have been just because I was so new I didn't know anything better, but I swear to you that I've never had a truck that would go as where that Brockway would go. That Brockway would go anywhere.
He ran a Brockway with a cattle pod, and he said it was the best time of his life. He would never... He hated getting out of that Brockway when the company went under. He hated it.
I guess this is really showing my age, but a 68 GMC Cracker Box.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow. I can't remember what mine was. I can't remember if it was the Oshkosh or the old GMC Brigadier, but my uncle had a couple of each with his mobile home and office trailer and portable school building moving business. And I always went and worked for him in the summers from when I was about 8 years old up. And he would let me drive them trucks around on the yard. And I remember I was about 12, and we had so many this one summer. We were picking up at Scotsman, William Scotsman, these portable office buildings going for the schools, and setting up 6, 8, 10, 12 of them bastards a day at all these different schools in Orange and Seminole County. And this guy, Roy, that taught me how to drive the truck, he was sick or something for a couple of days, and my uncle's like, you're gonna have to drive one of them. He used old ambulances for the work vans. They were awesome work vans. And so when they had the lights on them and all too, he'd use them to escort the trailers going down the road. Right. I was about 12, and he says, "Hey, can you drive Roy's truck? We'll get you hooked up, and you just follow us. You be in the middle, or something." So I pull out at a lot with that thing, never driven on the road, and we come out down there by the Florida Mall and go get up on I-4, and we're headed east toward Daytona. And I'm just following along, and I'm like, I'm scared to damn death that we're gonna get pulled over, right? Because here I'm like 12 driving this GMC Brigadier on the road with this damn trailer behind us. and got it there, and my uncle was like, "Yeah, if you don't show up tomorrow, you're going to be pulling one tomorrow too." And I'm like, "Okay." Well, once I was done, it was fun, but I was scared to death my first time.
We had an old Mac on the farm that I first started training on when I was 15. I don't remember the model, but I know it was a double stick. And my stepfather would actually sit in the passenger seat with a yardstick. And if he heard me grind a gear, I got my knuckles cracked. If I wasn't paying attention, that man taught. I mean, I can remember getting smacked in the forehead with a yardstick driving down a rail. And all we were doing is moving hay bales. That's basically how I learned, was that old Mac. What it was as far as model, can't tell you.
Yeah.
But I know I could see through the floorboards.
Mine was a Mac. The first truck I ever drove was a Mac. It was a 1995 Mac. The industrial service company that I worked for, because they needed operators, so they moved me up from a laborer to a operator, paid for me to get my CDL. And that was the first one I had, was a Mac, but it was a 95. That and pulling a frac tank. Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yep, pulling a frac tank, and then moved over. Well, that was the first day after I had my CDL, which I had to drive the truck from Ohio down into Indiana. I'm like 18 years old. No, and I can't cross state lines, but the owner of the company didn't give two craps. He said, just go around the scales. And I went, well, how do you do that? Of course, I'm 18. I don't know anything. I mean, I was 18 and walking around like I knew something, but I didn't know nothing. Thankfully, old Rick that taught me how to drive, he was like, come here, boy, I'll show you what's up. And so, he's like, no, you'll be down. You need to be in Bedford, Indiana before this evening. And I was like, huh? He's like, yeah, you got to be down there, drop that frac tank off, bring the old one back. And I went, okay, sure. Yeah. Yep. Yep. And then when I got back, the old man Rick, he taught me a valuable lesson there. He said, I just want to let you know you didn't have to do that. And I was like, do what? He's like, if you'd have used the CB that was in the truck, he goes, you could have asked the guys over there, and they'd have told you that the scale house was closed because they're replacing the scale right now. I'm like, are you serious? He's like, did you turn the CB on? I was like, sure did. Nope. Sure did. He's like, yeah, what did I tell you? When you get out there, turn the CB on. I was like, yep, sure did. I was like, you mean to tell me I drove? He goes, yep, you sure did. And I was like, man, how did I pull this nonsense off? So dog tired, but yeah, yep. Then we had what was that international that we had? We had an international that had the H pattern shift in it. Not the I pattern like everybody's got now, but the H pattern. It was,
yeah. I remember the H.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Say I had an old truck. One of my trucks I started on when I went legal was an H shift, and I'm surprised now there's nobody that knows how to run one of those. None of them.
Well, I can tell you this.
It's so rare to find anybody that knows how to run an H shift.
I know how to drive a 5.4 and a 6.4 because I've driven one. Of each. That's why I actually would love to put a 5.4 Spicer in my truck. I don't think anybody would ever be able to steal the daggone thing. So most of them can't.
How about a 6.4 with a 2?
Never drove a 6.4 with a 2, sir. Never did do that one.
Yeah, no, 3 sticks would kill me.
Twin stick was hard enough. I'm not going to lie. That was tough. So
my 01 W9 that I had a 6.4 with a 2.
No.
I
had a hard enough time with 2. I can't do 3.
there's a video of a guy in a Kenworth, a W9, that has 3 sticks, and I want to say it's on YouTube. And you watch him shift, it's like, oh gosh. I'm already, my head's scratching, and I'm thinking, I got a headache just watching this.
Well,
but it's so natural to him.
That was also a 4-axle that I had that in. That was for heavy hauling, plain and simple. But Many guys would sit in it and say, I can't even move it into the shop to work on it.
If you leave the one box alone, you'd be all right with the other two.
Yep.
The funny part, the second truck I think I ever drove, and I actually drove this regional after the Brockway, was an old cab over Mac. I don't remember what year it was, but I used to remember the laughing stock of the whole company because everybody said, "Oh, you got that one stacked Mac with the window in the back." Well, no, It actually had a sleeper in the back, but it was an old 237 Max 9 engine with a 5-speed transmission.
Oh, good gracious.
You could smoke a cigarette between gear changes, I swear to God.
Yep. Now,
that's when you knew when to shift, is when you got down and threw it out the window.
Since Matt and everybody's talking about crossing state lines driving, if we're going to get into that, my old man hauled aluminum coils out of Bethlehem, PA to Coors in Golden, Colorado.
Oh, my.
The first time we're going to say drove, I was 8, and it was a 77 WT 9000 Ford cab over.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Because we were going out across 70, and he was falling asleep. And I remember waking him up, yelling at him a couple times. And the last time I yelled at him, I said, "You better wake the hell up or I'm going to tell Mom on you." He looked over at me. I'll never forget this. He looked over at me and he goes, "Well, Mr. Smartass, I think I'm just going to put you in the driver's seat." Okay.
Back then, my old man did it to me several times.
Yep.
I wasn't 8 years old, that's for damn sure. But by the time I was 15, I was already 6'2", and my old man looked at me and said, "Put a ball cap on." So I pulled the ball cap on, and he says, "Pull it down over your eyes just a little bit." Pulled it down. He handed me a flannel. He says, "Put this on." I put it on, and I'm sitting there going, "What am I doing?" He says, "Oh, you're driving." He says, "I'm going to bed." He says, "You see a scale house open, you yell real quick." He says, "We'll switch seats." And at the time, he was in a cab over. I'm going, "I'm 6.5 feet tall. How am I supposed to get past you over the doghouse while you get in the driver?" He says, "Don't worry about it." He says, "Just tell me when if the scale house is open." And we hit one, and he says, and I yelled back, "Scale house is open." He says, "Well, you got two choices: move real fast, or you're going across that scale." Boy, I'll tell you what, I got across that doghouse real quick.
God, don't have bell bottoms on because you're going to catch your pant legs on that gear shifter when you're trying to slide out.
Every time.
I kicked it. That freaking thing ground like there was no tomorrow. And he looked at me. I got this sideways glance at it because that was his baby at the time. He gave me this sideways glance. He says, I looked right at him and said, "Listen, you're driving the rest of the way. You got an hour, man. You're good."
Well, it was hard enough to get in that thing when you weren't in a situation like that. And them cab overs.
Well, yeah. I mean, thing is we could get away with it back when I did it. You didn't have.
We were still getting away with it when I did it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, none of the other guys were going to rat on us.
Nope.
Hell, nope. I pulled into Lyman, Colorado to get fuel at the 76. I slid down out of the driver's seat, slid down the steps. The guy walked up to me and he goes, "Your old man up in the truck?" I said, "Yep." I said, "Fill it up," and I just walked off.
Those were the days, man.
You could walk in and the waitress, you hand her the thermos, she would wash it out with hot water.
Yep.
Clean it all up for you, fill it up with regular, high test, whatever you want to call it. Definitely no unleaded. And she would fill that thermos up and hand it back to you. It was $1.50, if that. And, usually it was complimentary because you were fueling up anyway.
Right.
And back out to the truck you went, and down the road you went. Yeah. Biscuits and gravy at the Liar's counter.
Oh, my word. And do you remember the food back then? You
God, it
ordered
was
up a
awesome.
platter at the mom and pop's place, and they put the food. I remember the first time my old man took me to a mom and pop diner at a truck stop, and he looked at me and said, "You ain't gonna be able to finish this." And I said, "Pop, have you ever seen me eat? I mean, really eat?" He says, "I'm telling you right now, you're not gonna be able to finish it." And he wasn't joking. They brought the food out, maybe what, $6 or $7 for dinner. But boy, let me tell you what, when they fill a plate, they filled the plate.
Yeah, they bring you a plate full out. One of my favorite places to stop at, other than Charlie T's here in Florida, was Bill's truck stop up there on 85 North Carolina.
Bill, oh my
I
word,
love Bill's. I
Man.
stop there all the time.
Oh,
Bill's is still
man.
there. Yes, that was that's still one of my favorites.
Speed
All
and
right.
Briscoe in Virginia. I used to love
Well-
going there.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Carl's there on 25 north of Denver?
Oh, there's that one. Bill's, I know
Yeah,
really well. I used to run North Carolina. I mean, I lived out there, and Bill's was. I kept talking to the people behind the counter and going, "Hey, everybody else is selling out," and they looked right at me and said, "We'll never sell out. It'll always be Bill's."
Right.
And they're
Yeah.
still. I mean, the tables in there are still from the 1970s.
Yeah.
They've never changed them.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd
You can
stop
still
in
smoke
there.
it. You can still smoke at that frickin' restaurant.
Really?
Can you? Wow.
Yes.
Yep.
You can still smoke in Bill's.
Bye.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember we
I was
pulled up
just in
out-
there, what, a
pulled up
month
there.
ago?
Yeah.
What is that one on the 84 right out of Boise? Stagecoach.
A Stagecoach,
Oh,
right?
Stagecoach.
Oh my
Man.
gosh, that was a great place.
Every
Boise
year they
State
gave
Stop.
us presents and Christmas dinner. I mean, all the
Yeah, they
trimmings.
they actually took care of the drivers during the holidays.
Oh
They
gosh.
sold it to Middle Easterns like 2 years ago. All
Yeah.
that's done.
Yeah.
That used to
That
be the thing.
sucks.
A holiday or your birthday or something like that. Even TA, before they got stupid, you could go in there if you showed them your license and it was your birthday or it was a holiday.
Yeah.
You know, the dinner was free. The buffet was free. And
Yeah.
God,
Yes, it was.
And TA and Petro had some of the best buffets. Well, 76 did too. They had some of the best buffets, and it was
Yeah,
great
got rid
because
of it.
if you were in a hurry, you just wanted to hurry up and get in, get some food, and get out of there. That was the greatest thing in the world was the buffet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you were
What
classified.
about
And
the-
if you didn't sit down at the Horseshoe Bar, you were classified as a snob back then. If you went and grabbed a table and there was a chair at the bar, at the Horseshoe Bar, that was vacant, and you're a truck driver and you grabbed something and you went someplace else to sit down, boy, you were an outcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a problem.
What about Big Tex in Amarillo? Does anybody go there? They got truck parking.
I've been there once or twice.
I haven't been to Big Tex in a long time.
Yeah.
It's really
Well,
expensive
on your birthday, anybody, it can be a truck driver. If you show them your ID, you get a full prime rib dinner, all the trimmings, everything free
Oh,
still
wow.
today.
Wow, they're the only
So
one
if
of the
you're
only
going through
ones that
Amarillo-
left to do it.
Last time I was
Yep.
there, you know, they had the limos would come pick you up at the TA or whatever, or Petro down the street or whatever. Last time I was up there, I called and they said, you'll have to walk out there in front of the gas station on the sidewalk. We'll pull up, you jump in, we go. They won't let us in the lot anymore. I was like, what? So I got my ride over there and all went in and got dinner and stuff. And I come back and I said, what happened with that? He says, hey, I guess they were losing too much of their restaurant business. So they didn't like us picking people up in the parking lot anymore. So they
Oh,
trespassed
that
us.
sucks. Yeah, and what about the days when drivers would help other drivers? Man,
Oh wow! Now you're really reaching
I
back.
do
Well,
that.
hold on
I
now,
do that
now,
on a
now. I
regular
still do
basis.
that.
No,
No,
some
I still do that.
I actually did
I
that.
still do
I
that.
actually did that.
I try, but I walk up to somebody and I'm about ready to ask him, hey, do you need any help? Or, okay, I was in Texas the other day. I walked up to a driver in the rest area and I was fixing to tell him there's an accident right up ahead about 10 miles, but you could take this exit and go on this street and go around it. But before I could get anything out, he's like, I'm not allowed to give anybody a ride because the insurance and all this stuff. And I'm like, what? I'm not here to ask you for a ride. I'm literally going to tell you there's an accident up the road.
Yeah.
I actually had a flatbed blindsiding today and helped him back up, and the guy got out and shook my hand, appreciated it, the whole 9 yards. I still today happily help a truck driver. And I still believe in the community. I've got to, it's not, the community's not dead until the last of us are gone. That are willing to stand up for it.
I broke my back in Montana. I hit the medium and broke my back and cracked my head open. And
Ooh.
I mean, I'm pouring down blood down my face. And it's 6 a.m, so it's still dark. It was December, not this last month, but a year ago. And I'm trying to get somebody to call for help because I had no radio service. I'm coming down the 4th of July pass into Montana. And
Right. Yep.
yep. And so anyways, I'm like 3 miles before that rest area. I could see the rest area signs 3 miles ahead. But anyways, I'm standing out there for a half an hour, blood all over me, and nobody's helping me.
Is that 4th
I
of July or Lookout?
Yeah, it's probably Lookout. I'm sorry. Yeah, I had a dedicated route from Auburn, Washington to Aurora, Colorado, and I stayed up on the 90 just because those idiots on the 80 did not know how to drive. I was in those tunnels the night before that happened. And I'm like, thank you, Jesus.
The night before the fire?
Yes.
Oh,
About 12
yeah,
hours
was a
before
mess.
that. I did
That was
2
a
round
mess.
trips from Auburn to Aurora every week, and I was always in the ice and snow. So,
Well,
yeah,
you
it
used to
was-
run 30 then. You used to run 30 the back way through Little America.
I did on the in the summer months, but in the winter I did not. But I like that run. But usually I just stray up on the 90, go through Spokane, over into Idaho, and then Montana, and then cut down on the 25 at Buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that was my normal run. I did, I think it was 550 something miles in Montana 4 days a week, and 400 miles in Wyoming 4 days a week. I mean, I was in those
That's some of
blizzards
the-
all the time.
I still say that coming across 90 through Montana is some of the most beautiful scenery I've ever seen.
Yes,
Isn't
Yes,
it,
it
though?
in the summer it's amazing.
It is
Well,
in the
winter's
winter.
pretty too. Not when you're driving semi. It's scary as hell. There's been nights that I have 5,000 pounds in the box, and I can feel my back axles lift up, and I can't see anything because it's so foggy that I'm watching the white line to the right of me just to know when to turn. It ain't that fucking pretty.
Well, that's just part of the road.
My butt's clenched up so tight. I mean, I'm scared. I'm too scared to shit myself. I mean, so I did
Penny's over
3
here
years
saying,
of
I don't
that.
know what road you're driving on, but it ain't the one I'm
Yeah.
driving on.
No, I couldn't see the prettiness. It was too foggy.
You know it's been a rough ride when you got to twist 90 degrees to get out of the seat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, and
yeah.
then when the wind's blowing so hard and you only got 5,000 pounds in the box, you're like, oh, that's pretty. Wait, is that my axles? No.
Was that the
I
rear
can't.
end of my trailer that just blew by my driver's side?
Yeah, oh God, I've seen that before. I don't even know how that's possible, but that's a real thing where your trailer, the end of your trailer can pass your cab. And I'm like, oh, no.
Oh, I've
but
seen I've seen a lot of truck drivers where that's happened.
I've ended up in the medium twice on the 80 because four-wheelers will race up ahead of me. I'm going 35 with my four-ways on in the daytime because it's so bad. It's right before they're going to shut those freeways down. And they race up in front of me and then slow down to 30, so I get in the fast lane to go. And then they get in the fast lane and slam on their brakes. I'm like, no. And I'm just off into the medium.
At that point, the old trucker kicks in. It's going, well, better me than them, and just bury that truck.
But that medium, man. Every block there is a street, and you'll go over that and down in there. It's like a hole.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky. I fishtails got it back in control and slid right back on the hammer lane. So I'm lucky.
Thank you,
lucky.
Jesus.
Man, that
I don't know
lane
how
went.
I got back on the road, but
I know, but I was going. Okay, so I did that 3 years, and in October 13th, they called me and said, yeah, the coyote came in and outbid us all, so we lost that contract. I'm like, thank you, Jesus. I mean, but I was making money, though, because everybody's out here on the dad board begging for $1 a mile, and I'm making $15,000 a week, but I didn't know if I was going to make it every shift, man. It was something horrendous, man. But I got a family to take care of, so I had to keep going. I was scared to death. When I broke my back, I literally got a brace on my back and was driving that same route in 2 weeks. Got a new truck and was back on the road.
The dumbest wreck I ever had.
I gotta jump off here. I gotta check in with my boy for the night. He got mauled by a dog today, so
oh God!
I want to go check on him.
Prayers for your son.
He's okay. He's tough. I told him, he's got to stop trying to kiss the dogs. I get that he loves dogs, but he's got to stop trying to kiss them.
Did it bite him in the face?
Yeah, got him right in the face.
Oh my God!
Oh, they're putting the dog down. The dog's been put down. He was drug out back and put a bullet in his head, but he's toughing it out. I keep telling him, chicks dig scars. Just eat it up. The chicks are gonna love you. Yeah, you can say that you fought a pit bull and won, and that's gonna bring your status way up in middle school, and you're gonna be good. So. But I'm going to go check on him. It's been a pleasure, guys. This has been a lot of fun. I hope we can do it again.
Oh,
yeah, I've got to be getting off here, too, because I got to work on the truck tomorrow. So I need to get a good night's sleep here so we can get some stuff done. So,
shit, I'm up every night running 2 logs. What are you guys talking about?
Well, I got to get ready to leave out on Tuesday. I got to get the rig ready to go so I can go do that. So, I will tell you, Benny, you see me out here. I'm doing about 1,000 miles a day back to back to back. So, you got to love that ag exempt.
I'm not governed. I'm wide open, so I'll keep up with you.
Well,
my friend was hauling cars. Well, he is hauling cars. He's leased onto McAllister, and he came by with his big ARI truck. We're going across the 40, and that son of a bitch, I couldn't catch up with him all day. I was heavy, and we got to those hills in Flagstaff. I came past him in the hammer lane at 140. He said, girl, you better slow down. But I was going downhill at that time. Oh, God.
That's moving. Well, y'all have a good night. Thanks for coming in and chatting with us.
You too.
If I get a little time tomorrow night, I might get on here. Depends on how things go with getting the truck fixed and getting my life together over here while we try to get ready to roll out on Tuesday. So, but thanks again for coming in, and y'all have a good night.
Good night, guys.
You too. It was great live. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.